Max. This mysterious planet has been drawing people's attention for centuries. The dream of going to Mars had much to do with the hope of meeting the brothers in their minds. And although I can hardly count on it today, my interest in our roommate has diminished. Will we witness the fulfillment of mankind's ancient dream? Today's project is gradually becoming the image of a future interplanetary ship. The moon blocks of the spaceship will live and work for months. The crew has control posts, cabins, salon, weapons. Tortura, installed along the sides of the housing block, will provide additional protection against space depth. The special apparatus shall lower the crew to the surface of Mars. The crew will spend a busy week in this vehicle. It's the main week of all the expeditions. The ship must have a vehicle for returning the crew to the ground and, of course, a powerful nuclear propulsion system for an interplanetary flight. The first practical steps to prepare for this event have already been taken. Many elements of a future planetary expedition that have already been used in orbital stations. A powerful energy carrier rocket has been established. It will orbit Earth blocks. Let's try to get ahead of time and imagine how the man's expedition to Mars will go. The first to go into orbit is the housing unit. One missile is then delivered to return to Earth and to Mars. The docking is provided by a special hinged compartment with packs and engines, which is discarded after the completion of its task. The fuel tanks for the propulsion system are inverted to the housing unit of the fuel. Or rather, the working body is molten lithium metal. And the last launches are the two nuclear electors of the jet propulsion system. They will operate simultaneously, but even one of the installations can ensure that the crew returns to the ground at any stage of the flight if necessary. After assembly, the propulsion system shall be moved, increasing the area of the radiators. They emit the greenhouse and the heat of the reactor. The nuclear power of the jet engine is relatively small, so before the ship reaches the required speed, it slowly rotates the scales of the spiral within 3 months. He's gonna get away from the ground. The ship will be freed from the Earth's gravity and begin its flight around the Sun, heading towards Mars. After approaching the planet, the ship spins the remaining spirals, approaches its surface. The landing on Mars of the entire ship would require enormous additional costs. So a relatively small vehicle with 2 astronauts would descend on the surface. The Catherine of the landing machine will provide him with a soft landing on the ground. The landing site has been determined in advance. CDMAS has already visited the most interesting area of the planet with mysterious features discovered by machine guns. A lot of interesting things can wait for us on Mars. For example, the valleys of ancient rivers. It is most likely to be found here in some form of biology. It's very important to take soil samples at different depths after 7 days of Mars research. The crew on the rocket will return to the interplanetary ship. There's a way back to the ground. Before they fly to their home planet, the astronauts will go back to the cockpit. She's gonna burst into the Earth's atmosphere at second space speed and go down to the landing range. And you, Earth's messengers, will carry out a dungeon responsible task. Earth's civilization will cross another outstanding frontier of its path.